Hello everyone, I am the Lore Explorer and this is the Outer Wilds. A recent conversation in the Discord made something glaringly obvious to me. Solanum is kind of confusing. This video will contain spoilers for the Outer Wilds, so if you haven't completed the game, I'd click off the video now. If you're still here, we are going to start by tracing Solanum's life from childhood. We see evidence Solanum grew up in the Sunless city. Her and the other kids would spend a good amount of their free time playing with the anglerfish skeleton we find here. And, to most of her friends, the Eye of the Universe was something special. At a young age, all of the Nomai children were taught how important the Eye is to their clan, how it called them to the solar system, and how finding it is the sole goal of the Nomai clan here. But Solanum just doesn't understand why it's so important. Yeah, it's older than the universe itself, and it did call us here. Didn't a lot of the Nomai die during that journey? What if that's what the Eye wanted? I mean, if it really was calling out to us, then why would it disappear when we arrived, and then proceed to hide from us? To her friends, this would likely sound like sacrilege, but to me, this is just the budding brain of a scientist, asking questions they don't know the answer to. But as Solanum grows up, her skepticism and fear gives way to intrigue. She begins to fear the Eye less and less, and finally, she is old enough to participate in the Nomai tradition, a pilgrimage to the sixth location of the Quantum Moon, a location closer than any other to the Eye of the Universe. To begin her journey, Solanum had to be sure to learn all three of the quantum roles. When she was young, her and the other Nomai children were brought to a cave on Ember Twin. Here, her and the other children learned about Coleus and how he discovered quantum entanglement. So she had already learned one of the rules as a child. In need of the other two rules, she makes her way to Giant's Deep and the Tower of Quantum Trials. Here, she learned that observing an image of a quantum object is the same as looking at the object itself. With two of the rules down, her final trip before the Quantum Moon is to Brittle Hollow, where she would visit the Tower of Quantum Knowledge. Here, she is taught the rest of what she needs to reach the sixth location of the Quantum Moon. When she finally lands at the Quantum Moon, she will land on the South Pole no matter what. From there, she has to make the trip on foot to the Moon's North Pole. Once on the North Pole, she can summon the Quantum Shrine that's actually able to take her to the sixth location. With the final roll out of the way, she is ready to make the pilgrimage to the Quantum Moon's sixth location. Finally ready for her journey, she jumps aboard a shuttle and launches. It takes some patience to land a shuttle on the Quantum Moon, so when she finally lands, she leaves an excited note. She explains that when she was young, she always viewed the Eye as something sinister. Now though, she understands that she was wrong. It isn't out to hurt her or the other Nomai, or even us. It is, and we are. And she is finally ready. With that, she exits the ship. But no matter which version of the Quantum Moon we land our ship on, this is where we find Solanum in her story. As soon as she set foot on the moon, the ghost matter explosion engulfed the solar system. And so, Solanum dies with her last thoughts being the universe is, and we are. I am ready. But I don't think she was ready for this. That seems like it'd be the end of the story for Solanum. But this is Outer Wilds. Things are never as simple as they seem. If we finish the journey as Solanum planned, we are met with a nice surprise. A living, breathing Nomai we are actually able to have a lovely conversation with. And at the end of that conversation, she refers to us as a friend. But how does that work? Sure, the ghost matter wouldn't have reached the Eye's version of the moon, but we saw her skeleton on the south pole of the other moons, so we know she never made the journey here. The answer to that can be found within the Quantum Shrine, or rather, the tower itself. The Quantum Shrine was built by the Nomai to allow them to entangle and travel with the moon in its many orbits. Only in this way would the Nomai be able to reach the fabled sixth location. This tells us there is no way they built the shrine on the sixth location. The tower must have been constructed on one of the other versions of the moon. Then it entangled with the moon, somehow spreading it across all 6 moons. The same thing happened to Solanum. As soon as she set foot on the moon, or even came through the atmosphere maybe, quantum entanglement and supposition occurs. She is now on all possible versions of the quantum moon at once, and on one of those versions, the ghost matter doesn't reach the moon, the 6th location around the Eye. Basically, this chick just wasn't having it. She died in the majority of possibilities. If we watch one of her skeletons and keep turning around, we see another after another possible version of Solanum who perished on her mission. Yet here she is, 1 in a million, 200,000 years later, just kicking it. Talking to Solanum, she has something interesting to say. You may think I'm strange, but I have a hypothesis that I may not be entirely alive. Perhaps my journey has reached its end. I believe, personally, that she is right. The Solanum that stands before us is a ghost, a quantum image held by the quantum moon the Nomai held so sacred. Time doesn't really pass normally on the quantum moon either. It may not even pass at all. If we shut down the ATP and go to the 6th location for the supernova, we get some insight about how it works here. The ending we get reads, "How long have you been here? Minutes? Years? You're unsure, but it seems your journey has reached its end." So even if Solanum has been here for 200,000 years, it probably only feels like a short amount of time to her. I suspect no matter how much time passed in the rest of the universe, Solanum will never look a day over 200,000. But unfortunately, I don't think we would be able to save her from this fate even if we tried. As soon as she left this version of the moon, she'd likely revert to one of the skeletons at the south pole of the other moons. Her image may live on forever, orbiting the eye of the universe that she holds so sacred. But that's just not life. She's likely only had this one conversation all this time. Even though to her, it likely only feels like a couple of hours have went by since she landed, it's still sort of like, geez, that sucks. But even if she is a ghost, she is the most important person in the universe. Because even this isn't the end of her journey. Though we have no option to directly take her away from this moon, I'm honored to say we are able to help Solanum, and ultimately the Nomai, finally achieve the goal they all worked so hard for, to reach the eye of the universe. If we met Solanum on our journey, she appears in the ancient glade just like all of our other friends. While here, she explains the globe of smoke above the campfire. Innumerable possibilities flashing before us. We only need to collapse them. When we do, we are met with the birth of a new universe, and we have to say our final goodbye to our ghostly friend. From the Sunless City, 200,000 years ago, to being present at the end of the universe, Solanum surely is truly something special. As the music plays and our replacement solar system comes into view, we see something interesting to the bottom right of our screen. A fire ignites, revealing a race of bug creatures surrounding the campfire, roasting marshmallows. The reason I mention this is because the bug creatures don't appear if we never went to the 6th location and met Solanum. If she isn't at the campfire to add to the song, they simply don't show up. And really, what's the point of a universe or solar system if it doesn't have life in it? Solanum's ghost single-handedly gave the solar system meaning. She makes it so life can flourish. And hopefully, she makes it so they can find the eye again. Without that, the entire cycle might end. So, to sum it up, Solanum is the 6th location's ghost. Trapped there through quantum entanglement, with only 1 out of 6 of her possibilities having survived. In short, a quantum image trapped at the 6th location, yet real enough to take to the eye of the universe, and change the universe to come for the better. Meeting Solanum was a very meaningful encounter, and I really appreciated it. As a sort of a bonus fact, one of the viewers pointed something out to me in the comments. If you break up the name Solanum, annum means year in Latin, and sol means sun, which of course is the main source of light. So, with some wiggle room, Solanum translates to light year. I hope my next cat likes their new name because I think it is awesome. If you're not already subscribed to the Lore Explorer, you should consider doing so. It's a great way to support me. But mostly, thanks for just watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. For now, this is a Lore Explorer going to hang out with Solanum because I don't want her to be lonely for too long. Don't judge me.